All right, settle in, grab a kombucha or whatever makes you feel spiritually enlightened tonight, because we're about to get real fast. Many people ask me about the secret to making serious money, and honestly, when I tell them the truth, nobody believes me. Nobody, they expect some magic formula, some crypto pump and dump scheme, or some secret offshore account. But the real secret, my friends, it's not what you think, it's about understanding where your energy goes. And trust me, your energy is your ultimate currency. And right now, for many of you, it's bleeding out like a punctured cryptocurrency wallet. You're probably here because you're experiencing some kind of spiritual awakening, right? You're an empath, sensitive, doing the work, meditating, journaling, maybe even talking to crystals. And you're also absolutely, positively, bone-crushingly exhausted. You're wondering, Vic, what the heck is going on? I'm supposed to be ascending, not feeling like a zombie who just ran a marathon while carrying 1,000-pound emotional baggage. I hear you. I've been there. I've lived there. It's a soul-sucking vortex. And guess what? Your spiritual awakening, the very thing that's supposed to uplift you, it's probably making you broke and totally drained because every single bit of that fatigue, every drop of that exhaustion, it's a neon sign flashing. Hey, your money, your time, your energy, it's all going to the wrong places. Let's be honest, those gurus selling you expensive courses on manifesting abundance while you're barely making rent, they're not telling you the full story. They're selling you a dream, and you're buying into it, literally, with your hard-earned cash and your precious energy. So, I'm about to spill the tea, the real raw truth about why your spiritual awakening is kicking your financial and energetic ass. And more importantly, what you can do about it starting today without buying another single crystal or paying for another retreat. First up, the granddaddy of all energy leaks, misalignment. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh, another spiritual buzzword, hear me out. This isn't just about your chakras being out of whack. It is about your entire damn life being out of alignment with who you've become. You're growing at warp speed, right? You're changing, evolving, shedding old skin like a snake on a hot summer day. But your life, your career, your relationships, they're still stuck in the past, still trying to fit into those old, dusty clothes that no longer fit. And your nervous system, bless its cotton socks, it's screaming, no, this is not who we are anymore. This is draining us dry. I remember my own journey. Years ago, I was growing medical marijuana in Michigan before it was cool, before it was legal. Sounds thrilling, right? Mad scientist, growing plants, making bank. I loved it for a while. I mean, the first time I saw a hydroponic grow room, tubes, lights, nutrient solutions, TDS meters, it was like a scene out of a sci-fi movie, total geek paradise. Me friends were doing it. I was skeptical at first. Risky, illegal, I thought. But then I stepped into that room, blinded by the light, literally, and something in me just screamed, hell yeah, this is awesome. I grew off and on for years, had a sweet setup in my basement. It was fun. It made money. But then the whisper started. Then the shout. My intuition, my soul. It was screaming. Let go of the grow room. It's not who you are anymore. My mind, stubborn as a mule, couldn't accept it. But it's earning money. It's fun, I argued with myself. Every time I walked down into that grow room, I felt this pit, this inner conflict, a visceral rejection. It was no longer me. But I resisted the call, like so many of us do. You might be resisting it right now, that knowing, that gut feeling telling you to do something different, but it scares you, it feels premature. You're lingering in an old career, an old relationship, an old house, an old whatever, and you know it's time to move on. But you're paralyzed, you don't know what that looks like. So, you stay in this environment that is no longer a reflection of the true you, the you that has emerged, and what happens? You feel resistance, you feel exhausted. Your nervous system is screaming, no, but your mind is insisting on doing instead of chugging more coffee or popping another energy drink. Ask yourself, why am I so fatigued? What is my body trying to tell me? Your body, your nervous system. It craves harmony, balance, and when it's balanced, there's plenty of energy. Not too much, not too little, just right. A perfectly balanced energy budget. But when something's out of balance, fatigue is the messenger. It's telling you to pay attention and sometimes that imbalance is in your relationships. You grow, you change, and sometimes, the people around you, they don't. What was once in alignment can become a massive energy drain. You start to notice subtle differences, a fundamental clash in outlooks, especially if you're on the up and up, and you have people in your life who are stuck, negative, judgmental, victims, they're drama, magnets, chaos creators, and even if they're not talking about anything specific, their energy, their frequency, it's incompatible with yours. You can sit in silence next to someone and their bad mood. Their victim mindset, it'll drain you dry, your life force, your battery, it just runs out and the fatigue lingers, even after they're gone, and worse. You start to entrain to their mood, you become cynical, you think, this isn't me, why am I feeling this way? It's your environment, my friend. It has a profound effect on your body and nervous system. Even if your mind tunes them out, your body is absorbing all of it. The fatigue is telling you, you've grown. It's time to set a boundary, create some space, or at least have a conversation. Marcus Aurelius, that wise old Roman emperor, he talked about this. If you don't like someone's attitude, don't be surprised. A fig will be a fig, he said, but if you're so keen on disagreeing with their perspective, why not try to help them, compassionately, non-judgmentally, share what's been working for you. Hey, I've been doing breathwork, meditation, and I feel amazing, want to try. Now, many people won't want to, and that's okay. But unless you either help them up, level, or create some space, that fatigue, it's not going away. And I know, the guilt. It's a powerful beast. But they depend on me, they need me, you say. How tragic is that? Maybe they need that abrupt, painful conversation. One of the worst things a concerned loved one can do for an addict is enable them. Give them money, shelter, clothes. It's self-destructive. And sometimes a blunt truth, I can't be around you anymore if you're always negative. I love you, but it exhausts me. If they get offended, that might be the wake-up call they need. We all learn this way sometimes, even me right here. On YouTube, someone politely told me, Vic, your videos are great, but I'd like something a little deeper. Initially, it stung, a polite criticism, but I agreed. And here I am, trying something new. Sometimes the solution is simpler than severing ties, or quitting your job sometimes. It's laying off the ice cream at night, or acknowledging you've smoked enough weed for a lifetime. Guilty on both counts, by the way. When something's out of alignment, it affects you differently. Cannabis. For example, I started super young, not recommending it, not ideal, but back then. It helped me question authority, helped me break out of being a good kid. It made me realize that just because you're an adult doesn't mean you know everything, or have my best interests at heart. I started rebelling against conventional thinking, which I'm happy about. It's important to come into your own power. It's still fun, once in a while, helps me stay in the moment. Great for a day off, but there was a time I was smoking so habitually, it was getting in the way of my aspirations, my goals, my children, my purpose. Suddenly, it wasn't working for me. It made me too tired, unmotivated, lethargic. It wasn't the fatigue that was the problem. It was that I was ingesting something that was hurting me more than helping me. No judgment, no problem. Just a simple observation. I've had to clean up my diet, my habits, no TV before bed. A pretty strict way of living now. Because my nervous system, at some point, got fed up. And the initial symptom was exhaustion. 3 episodes of The Sopranos before bed, and I'd wake up exhausted even after a long sleep. Is it the full moon? I'd wonder. No, it's too much damn TV before bed. When you're 18, no big deal. But now, you're an adult. You have responsibilities. You need to preserve your energy. As you change, as you grow, you'll find you have to level your habits. So they support you rather than drain you. Another entire category of fatigue, purging. This one's a bit more passive. Misalignment is about choices. Purging is different. Even if you're living like a freaking monk, you'll still experience exhaustion because you're purging old beliefs, old programs, old energy, unexpressed, unhealed, unconscious pockets of dense emotional energy. They bubble up to the surface. It's not a quick thing. It creeps up slowly but surely. You feel anxious, exhausted. There's a dissonant energy becoming conscious. It can trigger fight or flight if you're introspective. Like me, you'll immediately investigate. What is this? Where is it coming from? What needs healing? But it takes time. You can meditate for 2 hours and still not know because it's not conscious enough yet. And when it finally surfaces, that's even more exhausting. It temporarily takes you over. You're playing it out almost unconsciously, wreaking havoc in whatever key area of your life is problematic. There's a subtle glimmer of awareness. You know you're doing it. You know you're acting from an old pattern, but it has such momentum, such strength, such presence. It's difficult to resist, and even trying to resist, that exhausts you. So it's not just the initial concern, it's the whole experience. Exhausting, even the breakthrough. When you finally have an insight, create distance. See it for what it is, and then it's gone. And you're free. You had a breakthrough. You feel clear, tapped in, free, and then you crash exhausted. That's the integration period. It happens all the time with ayahuasca or somatic breathwork. It condenses that process into a matter of hours. You go through the whole gamut, resulting in a profound, enlightening breakthrough. It brings temporary energy, an absence of what you purged, all this life force energy, but then it tires you out. Just be aware of it. It will happen, especially when you're seeking it out. A month ago, I did 3 deep holotropic-style breathwork sessions in 2 weeks. I fatigued, I fried my system, got a lot of work done, a lot of healing, and sometimes it happens without you trying, especially around full moons, eclipses, astrologically significant times. You go through these purges, these shifts, just accept it. The more you try to control it, understand it, That just adds unnecessary energy to the mix. The best thing, as best you can, is just accept it. Okay, another healing contraction, this too shall pass. Tree to stay as neutral as possible. This fatigue also hits when you're having a major energetic growth spurt. You know, when you're experiencing more chi, more spiritual energy, feeling spiritually activated. Initially, you have a lot of energy, life force flowing through you, kundalini, that kind of thing. It's exhilarating, activating, but what goes up must come down. You oscillate between feeling better than ever, younger, springier, and then suddenly, you feel like you've aged 50 years, achy, tired, fatigued, mind burnt out. Oh man, you think, now this one, there's wiggle room. The purging ones, I haven't mastered. It throws me off most of the time. Because it's usually something you suppressed, and there's a reason you did that. It's uncomfortable. You resist it. It's a work in progress. But I've seen tremendous improvements. I've learned to leave a little gas in the tank. I used to call it being high on spirit, feeling the force of the cosmos at your back, inspiring you, creative downloads, feeling amazing. I've learned not to get swept away with it, because as Carl Jung talks about with archetypes, these collective attitudes, perspectives, like the warrior, we all have an element of it. Sometimes you need to tap into your warrior self. But archetypes can take you over. Suddenly you're battling battles that don't need to be fought, arguing, becoming overtop with one perspective. I'm trying to bridge that to the fundamental increase of spirit energy flowing through you. It's great, feels good, creative, expansive, you feel confident, like you can do anything, move mountains, but if you indulge too much, you will burn out big time. You'll make sloppy decisions. This growth spurt is good. Access to greater quantities of your own frequency, your soul's essence, great. But it requires mindfulness, temperance, a healthy neutrality, and detachment. Knowing this is not the end, all be all. This would happen with ayahuasca retreats. After 3 days, massive growth spurt, my business partner, and I would have these business idea downloads. Yeah, let's do it. Gung-ho, we'd get back to the States. Ground ourselves and realize that was not well thought out. This energy, like those archetypes, has an agenda, but you're the conscious presence that decides how much to interact with it. Long story short, what goes up must come down. The more neutral you stay on those spiritual highs and lows, the less severe they will be. I say this as someone who used to completely indulge, and I would burn out so hardcore in my early 20s. Going to the grocery store would wipe me out for days, because I had such a lack of awareness and mastery over these powerful energies. Leave a little gas in the tank, spare yourself a lot of this fatigue. Now, something that also inspired this video, aside from the healthy criticism I received, is modern living. I'm noticing right now, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, leave a comment below if you're feeling this. A lot of sensitive souls, people doing the inner work, are exhausted, partly because of the life you find yourself in. Modern living, my parents, retired, just went to Italy, telling me about these quiet fishing towns. Everyone worked with their hands, with the land, drove small cars, not flashy, quaint, but the people were so happy, full of life, full of spirit. They didn't buy into this American dream, this industrialization and westernization that is absolutely exhausting so many people. Just look at your phone. Right now, look at your screen time. Understand what staring at a bright blue light with all these different things does to your nervous system. Right there, in itself, makes it difficult not to be fatigued. Not even considering how it affects our sleep, and how important sleep is. The average American sleeps way less than they should, chronically undersleep. That's leaving out the fact that you might have to go to a job, work beyond your natural capacity, to uphold a life you don't even need for happiness. Like those Italians, they saw the writing on the wall. I don't care if my house is 3,000 square feet. I don't need landscapers. I'd rather live simply, have plenty of energy, and live a good life. There's this thing I watched on Netflix. The Blue Zones, 5 locations across the world where life expectancy is much longer. One is in Italy. And the interesting thing, these people drink alcohol, drink wine, eat pasta all the time. They're not doing red light therapy, meditating, biohacking. That's not why they're living long. The hypothesis: exercise and community. They are connected. When you're connected with other people, it gives you energy. I feel this in my martial arts class. I go almost every day. Train very hard. I could never train that hard at home. It's not the trainer, it's the other people. There's a synergy when human beings get together, work together, laugh, hang out, drink wine, a shared life force that few of us have. So many of our relationships are digital now. We don't tap into that person's presence as much. I could go on, but in my own life, I'm wondering, how can I get out of this? How can I find a middle ground? Not escape and live in a cave, but where's the balance? I'm considering buying a much smaller house. Ronda Rousey, one of the biggest female fighters, worth $15 million, lives in a modest little home with her family on a farm. They work on a farm. Interesting, inspiring. She saw what many of us are seeing. Some people are embracing minimalism. Some are ditching everything, living in a van. I did the same with a travel trailer. But what needs to happen is changed, and it's going to start with the sensitive nervous systems. Life is out of alignment. Now, what do? I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. What have you done? What have you thought about doing to counterbalance the exhausting nature of modern living? I'd be fascinated to know. Maybe we can work together on this. I think about it every day. What could I do? How could I change this? How can I give my children a different example? This exhaustion, it's a symptom, in my opinion, of a much bigger thing happening, a collective awakening. It's tough when you first wake up and realize you're kind of trapped, but you're never really trapped. There's always a way out. The struggle, the exhaustion. It's a compelling motivation to figure out how we can live differently, more simply. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're up to. Okay, as promised. Now I'm going to share some things you can do that will make a big difference in your day. Today, energy levels. Things that took me 20 years of trial and error to discover, and I'm going to spare you the basics. Obviously, eating healthy foods, getting enough sleep, yada yada, you know that. I don't need to waste your time with the common sense stuff. These other ones are a different perspective on energy, something you either haven't heard or haven't heard often. First one, a principle of Tantra deeper than just sexual techniques. A philosophy for life, only use as much energy that is necessary for the given task. Seems like common sense. Of course I do that. I don't waste energy, but we do. If you don't believe me, tune into your body right now. Look closely at your energy. See if you can detect any unnecessary tension. I can feel some in my stomach right now. Actually, I feel pretty relaxed in this moment.